So it comes out that Trump is furious. Absolutely furious. We're going to discuss what he is mad about and what statements he did just break live. And he said, you know what? I'm done. We're going to discuss that. Also, we're going to talk about what Congress just passed. They were so happy that they passed this law and this ordinance or this, proclamation, and it's just so stupid. I look at these people sometimes like you're just a bunch of kids. It's like you're on a playground and you're wanting to bully each other. It's unbelievable. Wait till you hear what they just voted for. Now the sad thing is, it wasn't overwhelming support. So it was a stupid vote that means absolutely nothing. But then all of a sudden you realize 100 Democrats voted against it. It's childish games. We're going to discuss it. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her resigning. What the real reason of her resigning is. And to be honest with you, it actually hurts Republicans a lot more because we don't have really good margins. And then all of a sudden we lose another candidate. Instead of her filling out her term, I thought she was America First and fighting for Georgians. And then all of a sudden she walks away. There's something shady about that. We're going to discuss it. Can China shut down our whole grid, shut down all our cell phones? Do we need to learn how to survive without technology? We're going to discuss what was just shared. And lastly, before we finish this video, we're going to talk about the danger of this once more. Because there's new revelations, new details. And it's not for the older among us. It's for the ones that are in school. What are we doing? Zero rest. Wait till you hear the story. Mind-blowing. Let's dive into these stories today. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here on this beautiful day. I hope that you've had a wonderful, wonderful day already, and we humbly thank you for coming back and watching our content. Now, let's jump into the stories of the day. First, let's talk about what Trump is mad about. I want to bring a point that he just brought up. It says, Trump may not actually be happy with this AG. This is a story. It says, so we catch Obama and Biden. We catch their crew. We catch the spying. We catch them spying on my campaign. And yet, nothing happens. No arrests have been done. Why can we not see results? Now, he's saying that, but to be honest with you, he's really being very poignant when it comes to AG Bondi, probably the FBI, and even Congress and Senate. So, it came out yesterday that James Comer, again, Congress is so worthless, I'm sorry. He came out and said that the Clintons are going to be held in contempt because of all these file release, and we're going to hold them in contempt. Now, if I'm not mistaken, isn't this what Roger Stone and Steve Bannon, some of them had kind of against them, and they were going to basically go to prison for being in contempt of Congress. Now, that being said, that's from the Democrats. Now, the Republicans are weaker. They're spineless. Most of them just love to grandstand. So, James Comer and Jim Jordan to get up there, and they're going to hold them in contempt. Do you honestly believe anything is going to happen to the Clintons? No. They're not going to do anything. So it kind of goes back to this situation where we have the proof of the damage that Brennan and that all of these cabinet members for Obama and Biden did, all the dangers, all the problems, all the spying they did, which is completely treasonous and illegal, and yet nothing will happen to him. So Trump, he dropped the hammer. He's like, hey, what are we doing? The American people want transparency and results. We're trying to give that to them, and then we give it to them, and then all of a sudden nothing happens. It brings up a valid point. Again, I'm going to say this, and this kind of leads me into the midterm situation and dealing with Congress. If major things don't come to fruition, meaning if there's not a lot of solutions and a lot of wins, a lot of W's coming by mid-2026, we will lose the midterms, and we will get destroyed in 2028 because we're allowing for Democrats to get all the W's. And actually, let me go back. It's not the fact that the Democrats are getting the W's. It's the fact that the Republicans are not getting the W's. When we literally have the Congress, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court, and we can't get one thing passed. That kind of brings up to the point of what the Congress just passed. Now, Congress comes out and they passed it's the stupidest thing. So Congress is so excited that they're passing a bill that says that socialism is bad. That's basically what the bill was. That socialism has no place in America. Now, we know that. We're not a socialist country. And we know that Democrats are socialist. But we make that vote take place. And don't get me wrong. There were some Democrats that voted, to side with the Republicans to say we're not a socialist nation. Now, there was like 98, almost 100 Democrats that voted in support of socialist outlooks on life. So they're voting for socialism. Now, two things about this vote. If I'm Republican leadership, this is like, bullying people on the playground. It gets us nowhere. This was the stupidest waste of votes. Did you know that the Congress has not codified one executive order by President Trump? So we're wanting this Congress to work for us. You have all the people like Marjorie Taylor Greenes and Mike Johnsons and even Thunes in the Senate. All these people are like, Trump first, America first. We want to serve the American people. But yet they will not pass one flipping bill that actually benefits President Trump. Thomas Massie, he's voted against Trump more in this term and voted for Democrats than any other Republican. So when we hear about these people working for the Republicans, they vote on a bill that says socialism is bad and that socialism has no place in America. Well, duh. And we're surprised that 100 Democrats voted for it? Well, duh. I mean, what did we accomplish with this vote? Look, they'll have to take a 3-week recess because of that vote. It wore them out, didn't it? So we have grandstanding from people like Comer and Jordan. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene doing her own thing. We have Mike Johnson who's telling you that he's going to hold some things up for national security, which is absolutely a joke. And yet, they don't do anything for President Trump. And DOJ is not actually going after the people that were committing crimes against President Trump. Now, this goes along with the other thing that Trump is upset about, and Trump supporters are even more upset. This just came out. This was shared by this was shared from Gun Owners of America. It says, breaking. In an ultimate betrayal, the Second Amendment is now under a major problem. It says that Trump's administration, which again it is the Trump administration, but really it's the fact that the DOJ under Pam Bondi is basically stating that under this old Firearms Act in 1934, it literally could be used to be interpreted to take away our Second Amendment rights. All versions that are just simple carry, enhanced carry, could be taken away. See, so Trump is upset by this, that they're going after the Second Amendment. They're going after the people who want freedom and rights. Trump's trying to do all this other stuff, and yet Congress is not doing anything to work and help. DOJ is not doing anything to work and help. And ultimately, we're going into the midterms with one less vote that we have a razor-thin margin, and Marjorie Taylor Greene decides to step out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we vote to tell you how bad socialism is. Nothing is getting accomplished. I want you to listen to this. This is what's very, very scary. And I'm telling you, if we're not careful, we're going to walk ourselves into a major, major problem. It says that when Trump was elected, there was a negative 4% in January, basically stating of independents voting for Trump. Meaning he didn't win a lot of the independents, but he won enough, of course, to win. But overall, there was about a negative 4 rating among independents or left-leaning independents. That number is now negative 43. It says whatever is going on, the people in the middle are going away from Trump and moving towards people like Mamdani. Now, this may go on with this vote that we just had that meant nothing. We vote to tell you how bad socialism is. Doesn't accomplish anything. 100 Democrats vote for it. And actually, it may end up coming out and benefiting the Democrats because people in colleges and high school are coming out wanting socialism. You have Democrats pushing for socialism. And Mamdani is getting schmoozed and getting great treatment as a Democratic socialist. I mean, so what we're doing is actually not doing anything to help the American people and actually doing more things to harm what America is trying to stand for. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Now let's talk a little bit about this Marjorie Taylor Greene situation. Now, this actually hurts us more because I think the margins are like 5 or 6 votes that we have above the Democrats when it comes to passing, votes. Now, first of all, again, Congress has done nothing. And what they do is I know how politics works. So what they're going to do is try to do everything right now. So then it looks really good and it's fresh on people's mind. Like the $2,000 money, you probably will get it this year. The stuff like the little wins that they want to win, they're going to try to do it all right now, right before midterm. So it looks like they've done really good things for the American people. It's all lies, people. It's all basically, it's like clickbait. I mean, they make you believe they're doing all this work for you, and really they should have been doing work the whole time for you, but they don't want to get the wins in the first year because then you'll forget about them when it comes down to close to time. So like, I imagine the stock market will go back up. I imagine crypto will go back up. I imagine food will go down. There'll be some kind of stimulus passed. I mean, there'll be all kinds of stuff to try to get you to vote for them. It's the carrot, carrot in front of the horse kind of thing. But what they'll try to do is get some of those votes. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out and resigns yesterday. And I don't find this surprising. I mean, again, what y'all don't realize is these congressmen and Senate, she's going to walk away. Now, she's been in Congress, 5, 6 years, 4 or 5 years? She's going to walk away $20-something million richer by serving 4 to 5 years in Congress. That sounds a little shady to me, doesn't it? I'm saying this for the Republicans and Democrats both. She's walking away $20 million richer. She's basically telling you she's America First. However, she's voting basically against America First because when she steps down, it makes it where they have a less chance to pass bills. So is she really America First? No, actually, she's probably Marjorie Taylor Greene first. There's actually something that's probably either come up. Now, here's my thought. Might be completely wrong. When Matt Gaetz got out, everybody's like, what is he getting out? That made no sense. Because there was some shady stuff in his past. I imagine when she went against Trump, somebody found something about Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I imagine she had to step out so they could get someone in there that's going to support Trump. Now, I'm not saying Trump had anything to do with that. I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just saying it's a little shady that she's going to come out and actually hurt the president, hurt the Republicans by not staying in and actually passing votes. She should have said, look, I'm going to resign. I'm not running again, but I'm going to make sure that America First things get passed. She didn't. She's just going to quit. $20 million richer, though. Lost some of her family because of some scandals she had. So why is she actually quitting? Is she getting a job at CNN now? Is she getting a job at The View? Is she going to run as a third-party candidate? She didn't want to get mudslinging and some of the other scandals to come out. So she said, I'm not going to get primaried in Georgia, so it won't hurt my chances. Ultimately, what we saw is she's not America First. She's Marjorie Taylor Greene first. That's what these Congress and Senate are. They're working on what they want and what makes them look better instead of actually what's going to help the American people. I think that's why the Trump initiative, if he does not get stuff done, if he cannot get these people on board, you will see us get destroyed in the midterms, and then we will never win, and we'll see socialists actually win this next election. It's already happening right before our eyes, and we're doing nothing about it. Another thing, that Trump is trying to get a peace deal passed with Zelensky. He has a big pointed plan. It's amazing. Zelensky decides to not do it. Zelensky actually just became a private investor in like a $200 billion investment in a Ukrainian ski resort. Isn't that weird? I wonder where he got all this money. It's wartime over there. Why did he all of a sudden find an investor? Oh, and you know who his investment partner is? I'm thinking it's BlackRock. So it's weird how BlackRock is going to help rebuild Ukraine. They're using our money. It's amazing how all of a sudden Zelensky finds himself being a billionaire, and now he is going to invest in a private ski resort in Ukraine. But he can't sign a peace deal in Russia. You know what's so funny? NATO, our quote-unquote allies, they don't want him to sign the peace deal. They're actually against it too. They want to send their kids to go fight in the war. That's what France said yesterday. It's amazing what's happening. And what it's doing is actually making America not only look weak, it's destroying the only president that actually is willing to do something for the American people. Is Trump perfect? Absolutely not. But he has done more for the American people, or at least tried, than the Bushes, or the Clintons, or Obamas, or Bidens, or whoever you want to put there. even down to Ronald Reagan. Now, people liked Ronald Reagan, but to be honest with you, if you look at what he did with the livestock and the beef industry and all that, it really wasn't that good. And the co-ops, see, this man's actually tried to work for us, but we can't even get one thing codified in Senate and Congress. We have the Senate and Congress and Supreme Court, and yet he is fighting battles alone by himself, and he has infighting in his own party that's wanting to basically destroy everything that he's working towards. And what they're going to do is actually give the Democrats everything in 26 and 28 if we're not careful. A lot of things have got to change if we really want to see something different. Do I care if Russia and Ukraine have a peace deal? Personally, I don't care. But our tax dollars are going over there, so I do care when it comes to our money. So if they're not going to sign it, let's cut them off and be done with it and quit worrying about what goes on that side of the world. Be completely done with it. That's the true answer. Be done with all this. Now, Trump came out and he said, I'm getting rid of some of these Somalis that's in Minnesota because of this big fraud that was going on. I mean, the amount of people that he's taking the TVS away from is it's a few hundred. It makes a difference, but it's like, we need to get rid of 20 million, not just a few hundred. This is a good step in the right direction, but let's go ahead and deport all these people, and I think that would help our housing crisis, our food crisis, our grocery bill crisis, and also all the other crises that we're facing by getting 20 million people out of America that shouldn't be here in the first place. And we'd probably actually start seeing red waves happen again in these states because you'd realize these censuses and these congressmen are getting basically elected because of the migrants that's sitting in their states. So if we really want to see Trump succeed, we better get better DOJ, we better get a better FBI, we better get a better Congress and Senate who's willing to work with the president. If not, we're going to lose these elections. And two more stories, and this is one that dealt with the situation the other day about, we're giving the newborns this kind of stuff. We're giving people this, and it's passing down to their generational lines. This is from Andrew Brigden, and it's shared basically from Liz Churchill. It's crazy. It says Pfizer's basically this. You know how we said that you're starting to see turbo cancers from a certain part of this version that went into people's arms. It's dealing with SV40. The children version of this is twice as concentrated of the SV40 than the adult version. Now, I'm going to say that again. This has caused a tremendous amount of sickness. Remember the video I did just a few days ago. 100% of people are affected based on clotting. But not only that, they said over 60 to 70% of individuals that took that are developing life-debilitating problems. Most of that being cancer. It was brought back to what they called SV40. Then there's a new study done on the Pfizer version of the ones for the younger Americans. This is why, this is shared by Liz Churchill, says this is why so many of our youngest are getting stage 4 cancers. Because what we're realizing is it had 2 times the concentrated version in the pediatric formula of SV40 than the adult. Why are people not going to jail? We're fixing to make them filthy rich even more with this big push for GLP-1s and Ozempic and all that, which basically people are getting sued all over the world for it because it's causing blindness, causing other sicknesses, and we're willing to give more people this stuff. I would love to see doctors work on cures and not symptoms and just treating symptoms. Have you ever noticed medicine never cures us? Have you ever realized that? It doesn't cure us. It helps the symptoms. It prolongs the amount of life or hopefully your mortality, but basically it never actually cures us. Well, because they don't need us cured. They need us dependent. And this is amazing that people are not going to jail for when this is actually double induced that was given to younger Americans because they had to go for school. They had to have it. And what you're realizing is it had double the amount of concentration that is causing for sicknesses in people, turbo cancers, they said that more kids are going to face that than ever before. They said within 5 years, you're not going to believe the number of children. You're not going to believe the number of cancer spiking. It's going to be so unbelievable for people not only over 18, but even worse for people under 18. That should scare the mess out of you. There should be arrest done. That's what the DOJ should be focused on. Arresting them. Now, last story I'm bringing up, and this is one that's pretty big. That I mentioned in the intro. There's a new study out that just came, that was just released based on China. This is from Morrow Nafal. It says, China could shut your phone off before you even know you're at war. U.S. federal authorities raided the secret SIM card server in New York City. Remember that? We talked about that, 100 million SIM cards to knock out 20 million phones and telecommunications all over and put us back in the Stone Age. I want you to listen to this. It says, the more we found out about this account, the more we found out about this situation, what we realized is all of this could be completely tied to China. That's what they're thinking. They said at this point, hacking every aspect of your communications would take place. Now, they said, if this was successful, if they learned how to do it and then made this practice happen, they said they not only could take over your food, your money, your 911, every aspect of your life that is now being pushed to digital aspects could be ran and could be controlled, and then all of a sudden could be shut down and shut off. I love what this guy said, and this was actually, he was sharing it on the Sean Ryan show. He said, what people don't realize, if phones go dark, then the grid goes dark, then America will not make it. It says within 6 months, 90% of Americans would either harm themselves or harm others or suffer, all because they're so conveniently hooked to this device. And this device has our whole livelihood on it. Remember, Apple said that digital ID was being introduced last week. If we start taking that hook, line, and sinker, and then all of a sudden China hits us with a SIM card attack, think if it was just city. Just don't even think about all America. Think if it was just New York City. Think if it's just one of these big cities in the Americas. I mean, say it's Miami. Say it's Houston. Say it's San Francisco. Say it's Oakland. Say it's Portland. Say it's Baltimore. Say it's New York City. Say it's Washington, D.C. Do you realize they said it would affect millions upon millions, and 90% of that area could not get power or the grid back or telecommunications back. And it said most of those same people, especially in big cities, they said that most people wouldn't even know what to do because they're so encapsulated with living with technology when it comes to public transit, Uber, food, money, every aspect of their life, and they wouldn't know how to survive. So that SIM card thing that we talked about, it's a dangerous situation because it may be just what they needed to learn how to do it. Yeah, that guy got busted. Nah, 2 or 3 guys got busted, no big deal. But they may have learned how to do it because it was already set up, already functioning. They luckily busted them before it actually went through. But what did they learn? What did they learn before it got busted? Things to think about today, guys. I don't believe Marjorie Taylor Greene did this for the good of people or good of Georgia. I think she did it for the good of herself. It actually will harm us worse. Now, I mean, look, but hey, Congress is working hard for you, though, buddy. They're passing laws to tell you socialism is bad. They worked on that one for a long time. No, we're not going to worry about codifying what Trump wants. We're not going to worry about working for the American people. We're going to do a proclamation vote telling you socialism is bad. All the while, we're going to lose the midterms unless something majorly changes. Pay attention to these. Now, the biggest story is the fact that this right here got put into a lot of people, and yet zero rest. Trump's mad because people are spying. It came out being treasonous. The law was broken. Zero rest. I'm sick and tired of people saying they're going to work for American people and work for us and represent us. Zero rest. Something to think about. Let me know your thoughts on today's video. God bless.